welcome to another episode of The Instruments, a show where we will look at all of the music instruments that we use to make music. My name is Mr. Julio, and this is my friend Otto.
What's up, friends? How are you?
Today we will look at one of the most popular instruments out there, the guitar. This one is an acoustic guitar, but you might have heard of an electric guitar before. That's the one that we plug into a speaker to get really loud and really heavy. I wanted to look at an acoustic guitar first though, so we could learn all of the basics about it and then eventually look at the rocking electric.
The electric guitar is my favorite! Rock on, brother!
I will rock on, brother. But hey, not now. Right now I want to look at the acoustic, and the acoustic is a great instrument too. A lot of people all over the world have been using the acoustic guitar to write simple and beautiful songs because of its clean and mellow sound. People also love to use it to sing along with friends. The acoustic guitar and the electric guitar are very different instruments, but I love them both.
Alright, understood. I want to learn about the acoustic guitar.
Okay, Otto, let me teach you all about it. First, we're going to look at all of the parts of the acoustic guitar. If you remember the episode about the ukulele, the parts are going to be very similar. Alright everyone, last time on the instruments we said that the ukulele is shaped a little bit like a person. Most string instruments are. The guitar is also shaped like a person, and a lot of you will be able to see that it looks a lot like a really big ukulele.
Why'd they make it so big?
Well, Otto, the bigger the instrument is, the lower the sounds that we can get. If we have big, lower sounds and we can get the nice, big and rich sound that makes the acoustic classical guitar so popular.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it!
We will very soon, Otto. The first thing we want to look at is the strings. Does anybody remember how many strings a ukulele has? Yeah, exactly, 4 strings. Now, let's count the strings on the guitar and see if it's any different. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wait a second, it has 6 strings!
Exactly, Otto. With 6 strings, we can play more complicated chords and make bigger, beautiful sounds with the instrument. Now, let's look at the parts of this guitar. Just like the ukulele, the guitar also has a head at the very top. And on the head, we have the tuners, or tuning knobs, which change the pitch of each string if we spin them around. Let's see. There it's getting lower, and then I can bring it back up. Since we have 6 strings on the guitar, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tuning knobs in total. 1 for each string.
Alright, that makes sense.
There you go. Alright, right underneath the head, we have what we call the
neck!
That's exactly right, Otto. The neck on the guitar is going to be a lot longer since the instrument is bigger. It still has all of those metal lines on it that we use to change the notes we are playing. These are called the frets.
There are so many frets on the guitar!
Yeah, Otto. If we have a longer neck, then that means that we're going to have more frets to play. Finally, we have the big old body of the guitar down here. The body of an acoustic is going to be really big, so we can get a very nice and big sound out of it. If you remember our ukulele episode, you'll remember that when we play the strings, the sound goes into the sound hole on the body that's right behind them, bounces all around inside of the body of the guitar, and then comes out louder. The bigger the body, the louder the sound, because it has more space to bounce around.
Bounce, bounce, bounce!
Otto, Are you the sound?
Yes, I am the sound.
Okay, cool. Alright everyone, now that we know more about the parts of the guitar, let's talk about where this thing comes from. Alright y'all, this guitar that I'm holding here is what we call an acoustic classical guitar. We can tell that it's a classical guitar because these strings over here are made out of this clear material called nylon, okay? Most acoustic and electric guitars that we see nowadays have metal strings. They're made out of metal. But these nylon strings give us a nice mellow sound. The sound that makes the classical guitar special. This type of mellow and calm sound was perfect for the classical guitar music that was played long ago. The classical guitar was actually created in Spain around 200 years ago.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah, Otto, it was a very long time ago. But the guitar is actually one of the newest instruments that we have. There's so many instruments that are so old. Speaking of which, the classical guitar comes from instruments that are a lot older than it. Instruments that looked a lot like a guitar. Instead of having 6 strings, these instruments actually doubled up on each string. So on each string, we had 2 strings instead of 1. This was to make a very rich sound with a lot of notes floating above everything that we played. This instrument was called the Baroque guitar, and all of these notes floating above everything that we played made it sound almost like a dream.
Do you have a Baroque guitar?
Sadly, I don't have a Baroque guitar, Otto, I'm sorry. Anyway, right before the guitar, there was an instrument in Spain called the vihuela. It was a very similar string instrument that they created in Spain because they wanted to have their own string instrument. It was actually a lot bigger than this guitar that I'm holding, but eventually the music changed, the years passed, and people wanted something different. There was a guitar maker in Spain called Antonio de Torres Jurado, and he wanted an instrument that focused more on the fundamental notes coming out of the guitar rather than the notes floating above it. So he looked at all these old instrument guitars and he came up with his own. And that is the classical guitar that we know today. The history of the guitar is a lot longer and more complicated than the history of the ukulele, but it's sort of the same deal. People started with something and then they wanted to make it better and more appropriate for the time.
I want to hear what it sounds like.
Okay, alright. Otto, it's time. Let's go hear what this guitar sounds like. Okay everyone, playing the acoustic guitar is very similar to playing the ukulele. Only now we have more strings and notes to work with. Now, with the acoustic classical guitar, we usually finger pick it, using our fingers to pluck the strings, and the thumb to hit the bass notes. Like this. We can also finger pick to play chords, giving it a more percussive sound, kind of like a drum beat, but with notes.
Is that jazz?
I don't know, Otto. Is it? Now I said that finger picking is the most common thing with the guitar, but you can also strum it with your whole hand like a ukulele.
Oh, that's pretty chill.
Chill? Okay, yeah, sure. It's pretty chill. Alright everyone, we hope you had a lot of fun today and that you learned a lot about the guitar. with us. Stay tuned for more episodes of The Instruments to learn about all of the different instruments that we use to make music. See you next time!